Hey guys, so we just got a few more card reveals from the Mega Evolution set from Japan, and today it's Garganacl. And even though the card itself doesn't look super exciting, I think it actually pairs really well with Mega Lucario and kind of has some new implications for the metagame moving forward. So let's take a look at the PokeBeach article. So to start, Nacli and Knackle Stack don't really have anything too exciting going on, but the evolution is the most important part. So for 180 HP Stage 2, Garganacl is a fighting type, and its ability, Power Salt, attacks used by your fighting Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So this is going to be something that you're going to evolve, set on your bench, and probably not really worry about, aside from the Monkey Dory and the Frostlass plays. But, that's just kind of where the meta is going to go, is you're going to have a lot of things sitting on the bench, buffing up your main attackers and just trying to keep them alive. I do suspect that we might go to a meta where Taros is played a little bit more because of that, but that's a conversation for another day. The problem with this card is that it has a 4 retreat cost, so you're never really going to throw it into the active. I mean, hitting for 130 HP just for 3 energies is just honestly terrible. Problem is, if you get gusted into the active stall, I mean, an air balloon is not going to save you here. So that's going to be the one downside of it. So even though it's pretty strong, I do think it can be a huge liability as well. But let's just look at how it pairs up with Lucario. So it is going to buff Lucario by 30 damage. And if we take a look at Lucario, it's Aura Jab, where you get to accelerate fighting energy, hits for 130. You have Garganacl on the bench, you're going to be hitting for 160. But really what's important is this Mega Brave ability for, or attack I should say, for 270. You're going to be hitting for 300 pretty consistently, and I think that that's just going to be a super powerful tech that Lucario needs to just hit the numbers that it needs to hit. On top of, I think there's another tech card as well that's coming out with this that's going to help out fighting Pokemon. It just seems like they really want to give a lot of support to the fighting archetype, which hasn't really seen love in a while. I think really since Urshifu meta was a thing. But there's also more to this than meets the eye as well. It's not just the Garganacl. There was a Lunatone card that was I don't know if it was announced or leaked or whatever. Oh, it looks like it was revealed. So it was revealed a few days ago. I was busy, but I want to talk about it because I think it actually has a lot of implications on the metagame as well. So Lunatone, its ability, by the way, it is a basic, so this is going to be something searchable with a nest ball. Super important to keep in mind. Its ability, Lunar Cycle, once during your turn, if you have a Soul Rock in play, you may discard a basic fighting energy from your hand to be able to use this ability. Draw 3 cards, and you can't use more than 1 Lunar Cycle each turn. So if we go back to the Lucario, its Aura Jab, you get to attach 3 basic energy cards, fighting energy cards from your discard to your Pokemon any way you like. So this directly works with Lucario. I think Lucario is getting a lot of support, and just seeing this makes it really exciting to me that we're going to be playing a lot more with basics that like directly buff certain archetypes, and I'm really excited about that. We haven't seen the Soul Rock yet get announced. I'm sure that's coming. So I am curious to see, what this is going to do. The problem that I think is going to be in the metagame moving forward is that, you don't want to clog your bench too much. And, the thing about Mega Lucario with the Mega Brave, you can't use it twice in a row unless you do some sort of switch card or whatever. So most likely you're going to try to have 2 of these set up on your board at all times. That way you can always just kind of retreat, hit for 300, retreat, hit for 300, or at least try to go between Aura Jab, Mega Brave. I'm not entirely sure how you play something like this in a 3-prize meta because I haven't played Pokemon at all during a 3-prize meta. Every time I quit, it's right before these things come into the standard metagame. So I could be wrong on that. Maybe you only want to have 1 of these and you just worry about gusting it up. I don't know, but if you have Lunatone on the bench, you have Garganacl on the bench, things are going to start getting clogged pretty quickly because you're also going to want to have your, maybe you play Squawk, I don't know, Mew, stuff like that. I'm not sure entirely what Lucario is going to want to run, but, once you start adding those supported Pokemon in here, your benches get pretty full pretty fast, especially with Fez too, right? Like you have Fez on the board, that's a 2-prizer that's really easily gusted up and killed. Managing your bench is going to be super important in a meta like this, I think. So that's just something that I really am intrigued by. I'm excited to see what the Soul Rock has to bring to the metagame, and I think it has to be pretty good because, again, this Lunatone will not activate without the Soul Rock in play, and I'm sure Soul Rock has an ability that won't activate without Lunatone. And the thing is, with that 110 HP point. I mean, you really are just a few monkeys and a few frost lasses away from just dying. You know, Dragapult can take this out in 2 hits. 1 hit if it has some monkeys on the bench and you have damage counters on their side of the field. So it's going to be a liability. It has to be good enough to offset that liability for you to be able to play it. But that is something to keep in mind. And one other thing I wanted to mention is that this Hariyama, which is also coming out in the Mega Evolution set, it is a stage 1, so it evolves from Makuhita. Its ability, Sumo Catcher. Once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may switch your opponent's benched Pokemon with their active Pokemon. This is very strong because I believe you are the one that chooses what you gust up. So it's a free gust. You still get to use your supporter for turn, and you get to basically just kind of hit whatever you want to hit. So again, like going back to this, it's like if you're going to play a Lunatone, that means you also have to have the Soul Rock in play. Hariyama, even though this is really good for the fighting archetype, like you're adding another one to there, and then on top of that, you want to have 1 to 2 Lucarios. So I don't think you're going to be able to really run all of this, you know, even with the Garganacl as well. Like you're just going to have too many things on the bench, unless you start seeing Area 0, I guess, come back into play, but that only works for Terra Pokemon, so that's going to rotate out and eventually, you know, not be playable as well while these things still are. So something I want to definitely keep in mind is that it looks like TPCI is going to be going in the direction of trying to find specific things to buff specific archetypes, and I really like that. It's just, are they going to be able to do it in a way that's pretty healthy for the metagame and something that's like actually good? Because that's the thing is, like, this seems good on paper, but it also seems really clunky. Like, I feel like they really want Mega Lucario to be good. I just don't know if this is enough. I don't think it's too much, because again, like, you just need too many pieces to make it work. But hey, it's something, you know. The other thing is the Lunatone, the Soul Rock, they're going to be searchable by Nest Ball. The other things you have to evolve. I mean, Garganacl being a stage 2, just to do 30 more damage, that is a lot. Are you going to start adding rare candies to your deck? That's going to lower the consistency a little bit of what you're trying to do with your main Pokemon. Although, being, you know, totally fair, Lucario is just a stage 1, it's not a stage 2, so you don't really need the candies for that. But like, are you going to want to run candies for a 1-prizer that's just going to sit on your bench? I don't know. I find it hard to believe that this is going to be really, really good when a lot of other options exist. So I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about when I noticed that there's been a lot of fighting support recently. And then with the Mega Camera Up that was just announced, I just feel like the Camera Up deck makes more sense to me than the Lucario one does right now. But let's see what else they have hiding for us behind the doors. And if you like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, you know, the whole jazz. So I'll see you in the next one.